Good morning. Isn't it empowering to be verbalizing? Words are passing through my lips, watching them as they turn into vibrations on a screen on my MacBook. Saying this is another form of energy. Thinking this morning how easy it is for us to relegate a thing into a library, just so much available to a human mind. Every day having 86,400 moments in it, seconds. How many days have you had in your life already? How many days? 365 days in a year. How old? From when you were born, not conceived. When you've made it out of your mother's womb. This number of days is all in your head. Sometimes we have an opportunity to become aware of memories, can turn into a streaming video in our heads. Awakening within oneself of opportunities to experience and come to terms with things from your past, memories. Brains are not limited just to human beings. All these animals that we associate to be in the animal kingdom have brains. If they're mammals, they have hearts, then they have lungs. We're all dissimilar, and yet we have common characteristics. We're similar also. It's one thing we're talking about. We're talking about life. Energy has become all these different things. Another, it is so important to be aware as much as one can, to stimulate oneself. It isn't this, to help one grow, to nourish oneself. So important to making the best of opportunities as they show themselves. A dream, a moment's reflection, not allowing these to just pass by, looked at but not thought about. Look more deeply into everything. It has more value. You are creating more value in it. There is always more to be done. That's not saying that we're not doing enough. In an instance, we're doing enough if we're getting by. But what's the difference between getting by and nourishing oneself with self-improvement? This is the question of one's life. You are here, you are thinking, as I have thought many times, about what is going on in this universe, on this world, and in my own head. And it is here where we meet. Being aware of our bodily sensations, the warmth our bodies emanating from our muscular activity of breathing and pulsing, digesting, being aware. Feeling the motions of our breathing as the air flows in and pauses and flows out and momentarily pauses again before we embark on a new journey, 4-part journey of breath, suggesting that everyone be playful and curious of your breathing and practice it. Become more familiar with it, that you become its friend, breath's best friend, because it's here for you. Every moment, 20,000 times a day. So wouldn't you want to get close to this one? You know what I mean? If you got to choose your friends, whom do you choose? You choose your breath and your heart pulsing. That's the difference between life and death. There are many structures, buildings, that we have risen in our own heads, each of us uniquely, yes, that support everything that we do societally, within a societal context, that we have learned rules and laws, regulations, concepts, ideas, all the different things that are going on to our awareness that we have a perspective of, inundated with, you might say. Here on this level that we're speaking of, that we want to set that part of our being and our lives aside for a while we gain our strength to handle it and investigate it better, because that's what we're doing. The world is still the world. One's perception is changing. No matter what, it is changing. And we have the opportunity to raise our hands high and grasp the universe, thinking about what we're doing. This is what we're doing in the Atlantean, in the Aquarian age, that we are privileged to be part of the ascent of mankind. This is your name. Finding a roadmap to one's own sense of calm and clarity, one's own foundation. Breathing as a means of locomotion, pulsing, as a means of flowing awareness, shimmering, in a means of being aware of this orangey red glow that we are, this heat emanating body we were speaking about. It is that we are bundles of miracles, allowing whom and what you are to sink into your soul. Bundle of miracles, deep. Let it spread far and wide upon the surface of your foundation and sink in. Miracles is whom you are. Number one. It is what it is. Being curious and maintaining a sense of awakened, rising alertness, a sense of awakening, greater receptivity, of heightened sensitivity, growing and nurturing oneself, being in this way more, associating your basic physiology, your breath, heart process, life processes into one's basic daily structure and meditation. It is continuous. If you do this for 14 minutes and walk away, it's a failure. You need carry your heart and your soul all day. To do less than this is denying one's own existence for the sake of a societal presence and ego. It's not your ego that keeps you alive. Your ego participates in this on a material level, yes, feeding, breathing. Let's just remember where we have come from. It is in our DNA. It is in the program. It is in the spirit. It is in the soul. And has nothing to do with your ego. And your ego, my ego, are a little tiny bit of that. Important, yes, of course. As important as every life is. As precious as every life is. Yet, It is perspective we are looking for. We're not looking for sad or happy stories. We're looking at a perspective of the universe, of everything that we can muster our minds toward and to raise before us as a goal and aspiration to learn, to help, to grow, to be kind, to be full of compassion and empathy, understanding, objectivity, strength, endurance, patience, persistence, discipline, strategic, organized, helpful, friendly, loving. Those are all good to plant in your soul. Namaste.